Welcome everyone to the home of finding sweet chocolate Easter eggs within our video games. Well, okay, perhaps not chocolate ones, but it's as good as having and finding the real thing, but just on a different level, as this is the Easter egg hunter. During the era of the 5th generation of video games consoles back in the mid to late 90s, the Nintendo 64 was home to many racing titles throughout its lifespan, from Formula 1 to motocross style racing with Excitebike 64 and Top Gear Hyperbike on the menu, to the futuristic levels of Extreme G. We even took to the water with jet skis in Wave Race 64. We cruised around in Cruising World and Cruising USA. We went on an adventure with Diddy Kong Racing, and we battled it out and partied hard in Mario Kart 64, most of which are actually really good games, some exceptional and some, well, not so good. Then, about 2 months ago, I was digging and reading into all sorts of random gaming facts, myths and creepy material when I stumbled upon another racer I had never even heard about, more than likely because it was only ever released on the US Nintendo 64. Keen to play it, I ordered one, and 2 weeks later it showed up, and here it is, California Speed. On the face of it, many would probably say that this is just another racing title to add to the pile. Well, yes, this is partly true, as it isn't exactly the best racer I have ever played, though personally I wouldn't say it was the worst either. The controls and handling aren't perfect, but the variety and creativity within the tracks makes this game really fun to play. There are many hidden shortcuts to seek out, a ton of different vehicles to unlock, and excellent music to listen to as you explore Atari Games' title. It is also a game that anyone can pick up and play. It even states that on the label, as it's E for everyone. Though if we were to discuss what would make this particular game stand out from all the other racers, then I think many people would be keen to point out that this game is home to a rather creepy message. Number 1. Before we do cover our main topic, we might as well touch upon a few other interesting facts and details the game offers up, as while cruising the Los Angeles stage you can find roughly 30 to 40 seconds in a petrol station positioned on the right side of the road named Foxico, a parody to the Texaco oil retail brands. There is also, right at the very beginning of the same level, a lane to the left of the highway decorated in white diamonds, representing a typical carpool lane, where commuters car sharing can use it, though this particular one comes with a comical and very hefty fine if you violate the terms of use. As you make your way to Silicon Valley, many billboards stand tall at the roadside, including several advertising gauntlet legends, which at the time in 1998 it was an up-and-coming Atari Games title which was released October of that very same year. Along the very same stretch of road, a Nintendo power sign can be seen, which is actually pretty cool since the magazine was produced in South San Francisco, which is en route to Silicon Valley. And while you explore the San Diego course, about 40 seconds in, you'll pass into Mexico. Then a few seconds later, the road will fork into 2 exits. By taking the one to the left, we'll see you navigate through a tunnel and out onto another highway, where shortly afterwards a gantry will come into view. When it does, slow right down so you can observe the sign displayed upon it, as it reads, US border, no pickled shark, no speeding, no monkeys, exit or die. It also reads, no R. Daly. It took me a while to find out who this is, and it turns out to be Robert Daly, producer of California Speed for the Nintendo 64, whose details can be seen in the game's credits, though the associate producer, Mike Cruz, has the name of Duck Hunt between his name, though whether or not this is a reference to Nintendo's title is perhaps just speculation. But the most interesting feature is lurking within the Mojave Desert stage. You see, as the level begins, you will drive by several pump jacks on the left, then several more on the right. At first, you'll more than likely just zoom past these while racing, though hiding behind the second set of pumps is actually a sign that could easily be missed, since it's obscured. The white background blends in with the sky, and the black text, which from a distance is completely unreadable. It's not exactly going to grab grab your attention and probably wasn't intended to unless you explore this game thoroughly. So if you manoeuvre onto the gravel nearby and rest up against the siding, then let go of the accelerator, your car will ever so slowly edge its way forward, allowing the message on the board to become more clearer, because it's quite hard to read even when you're right up close to it. My advice would be to zoom up the road for another 2 minutes, as a second sign rests on the left of the road and won't be blocked from the view by both of the timer counters. Anyway, once you are as close as you feel you should and could be, the following message can be read. Sometimes God takes mummies and puppies away, and sometimes, just sometimes, I do. Wow, I mean, where on earth do you go with this message, and how exactly is it meant to be taken? The game has already made several jokes towards true life subjects, as we have already covered, but this is definitely a step further, and who exactly is saying this? I've not been able to find out the answer, but at least we can all speculate, as this may have come from a movie or perhaps a book, though it could possibly be referring to someone who takes people away and buries them within the desert, or could it be referring to the aliens that feature at the end of the level? What it is though is a fairly dark and creepy message, and the sometimes, just sometimes I do part can really sort of get to you. So now it's your turn, and if you have anything else to add to this video and perhaps even know the actual answer to this message, or just fancy sharing a theory, just drop a comment below so we can discuss this further, as it's a pretty interesting topic.
Boing, 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 boing.